next poem is inspired by a saying you might have come across, and that's that in London you are never more than 3 feet away from a rat, and it's called Rat. In London, you are never more than 3 feet away from a dark-skinned young man under suspicion. Innumerable station tableaux, flat-jacketed constables peruse lunchboxes, gawky students offload law books onto the concourse to be scrutinised and deemed benign. Who tampered with the taxonomy of the rat, which, awaiting absolution for a medieval plague, feeds our fears, lives upon our waste? Returning from school, the warfarine, sedated rodent, rescued from the road, was in need of urgent attention. I rushed into Mrs. Cheetham's kitchen hair salon. Rollers rolled. Scissors and women's zones followed in the wake of fearful housewives. No more luck at home. I lay my precious charge in the hedge. My brother flattened it with a slab of granite. Mum put the kettle on. Dad hurled the corpse towards the lane. Altruists who have marched on Whitehall observe a commuter discard his holy book to access the ticket from his rucksack as they break into a sweat and shuffle for the nearest exit. Proffering their bloody children, the women of Gaza and Halmand are spectres as glossy pages bury heads in the sandy depths of a yummy mummy's plastic breasts. Lead story or foreign news. Anonymous brothers slay a vermin apparition. Someone's father tenders ghosts to the elements, washes fear from off his workman's hands, and sits calmly, taking tea. In my childhood in Cornwall, I spent many Sunday afternoons with my family in a muddy field watching motorbike or car racing events, some of which my father participated in. And I think they were a lot more exciting than some of the Sunday afternoons that some of my friends had to endure. So this is called Next Door, and it's written in the voice of an imaginary child living next door to us. Come on, baby, light my fire, turned low. Next door, as they were referred to, 4 kids, or was it 3 by then, prepare to roar away. Father in his wingback, asleep, head bent in the velour. All you need is love, turned off. Next door are pushing their luck, are not wearing that, piling on board, the painted racing car on the trailer behind. Don't tease your sister. Where's his inhaler? Mother says, it's like Vietnam in there. Natives escaping into gorse jungle, disguised by mud, led captive onto tartan rugs, eating hot dogs, reading the news of the world. I am tortured by anemic vegetables in Bisto, interrogated over next door's attendance at Sunday school as I gag on greens and think of Biafra. Faces disfigured by sauce, smoke and oil. Next door roar back up the drive in their dad's Land Rover. Father stirs, breaks wind, says you can't beat a Parker Knoll. I mentioned the possible absence of a child in that last poem. That's because the older of my 2 brothers died in a road accident when he was 10, and he remained in a coma all over Christmas. His Christmas presents still unwrapped under the tree, and I bought him an Airfix model of the Bismarck, and I kept it for years, and then finally in my late teens I unwrapped it and put it together, and this is called Building the Bismarck. Years after you'd comed through Christmas, I recommissioned the Bismarck. Sealed bags of injection moulding, unwrapped, constructed, painted with acrylic, made you a fixed point on the horizon, as everlasting as war and plastic. Recall had faded with the reindeer, who finally gave up hope of childish fingers. As you were reduced to a badly cut fringe in a school photograph, they guarded the box. It wasn't you everyone talked about, but who you would have been. Would you have outshone younger siblings, been welcomed into your sister's ordered domesticity, saved your brother from his dark side, or joined me one earthly orbit ahead of you, seeking reason in rhyme, raising a glass to everything? An enemy craft, my final gift. In bloodlines, as on battle lines, we are all people, just the same. Your history, air-fixed, more tangible than the sharing of grainy photographs and blame. Thank you very much. I'm just going to finish this set with one from this little book. This is actually a poem about one-night stands, and obviously written at a time in my life when they'd ceased to have any fascination. This is Will This Poem Respect Me in the Morning? Liquid brought us here. Sweat, spit, and bodily fluids polite girls don't mention in public. Oiled like wrestlers, the match was even, the prizes selected from a range. It wasn't the conversation. It was the spaces between the words that spelt it out. If you've got any sense, fuck it into me. Fill my throat to stem the sentiment. Take me every which way. Better the pain of unnatural sex than to be feelingless. This is a sermon for the enlightened, for those who have surrendered their senses, for those who do not confuse the smell of cunt and latex for that of roses. This is not polite chit-chat over the morning papers. This is night work. Morning will see me slip back into my conditioned skin, consider the order of my toilette, whether it is appropriate to apply lipstick before removing the raining shit from my fingernails. Lying back, I will the ceiling to split and crack, draw my eyelids the dividing line of sleep, raising my hand as if to salute the battalions that will follow us, locating my heart beneath the cum on my chest.
Your prize for your sweet ones.